Hello friends, greetings for the day. Welcome to another tutorial of Excel. Today we will be talking about conditional formatting. Now this you basically found in the home tab of Excel, and this applies to any format. It's irrespective of any version of Excel. You can usually find it on the home ribbon, home menu of Excel. So the conditional formatting is all about when you want to format based on a particular condition, as the name suggests. So this would require a condition to be specified by you, based on which the formatting can be done. And obviously the formatting is also user defined, where you pick up your choice of format to be applied to it. Now, in my previous tutorial, I've already told you about the other formatting option, like how you can bold, italic, and other things, like applying borders and aligning the cells and so on, and giving a background color to it. So that's the custom creation, which is without any kind of condition, what you would like to apply to your cells and data. But here in this option, you will be basically looking for a conditional formatting, where the conditional formatting would require a condition to be applied. And based on that condition given by you, it will be applying the formats. So let's have a quick look on what exactly this will help you with. So here I have a predefined information which contains some names and their respective scores about some of the exam, maybe any particular exam what they would have written, and a gender. Like, it's just a sample data again, as I usually make it, to make you understand how the conditional formatting can be done. So here, the very first thing is to move to the Home tab, and in that section you will find Styles. Styles block will contain something called as conditional formatting. Following that, Format as Table in the new options, and Cell Styles will again in common in all the options. So this section is quite common in any version, right from 2003, 2007, 2010, 2013, and 16. So you can pick any of these versions and it works the same way. Now, elaborating further in conditional formatting, you have different sections to be understood, like highlight cell rules, top bottom rules, data bars, color scales, icon sets, or new rule, where you think that these options are not limited, that you want something of your own. Then you can insert any of the formula depending on the criteria defined, and you can apply your own custom formulas to apply the custom formatting. So we will be looking at all these options one after the other. So in this tutorial, we'll be talking about highlight cell rules altogether. So let's see, what do we have in highlight cell rules here. We have greater than, less than, between a range, equal to a specific number, test that contains, a date occurring, or duplicate value. So let's try these out, and how the conditional formatting works is what we are going to have a look on. So basically what happens as a part of conditional formatting, these are basically the conditions what you would be picking up. So say greater than a specific value, and whatever values in that range is being above that or greater than that the specified number will be highlighted. So let's see here, understand the data. I have got some names here. I've got their scores which are varying between 80 to 20, and even some genders of the specific participants. So say for example, I pick up the scores and I select the range, that is like all the numbers, and go to conditional formatting, highlight cell rules, and then I pick greater than. Now greater than means I need to specify a value above which I'm looking to highlight. Say for example, I'm looking for students who have secured or scored above 60. Now this is a preview. What you can see already, that these are the scores which are above 60. So you can basically define your own condition, that what value are you looking at. So there's most commonly people find that we would like to see some specific values above this or above that or so on. So you can specify your cutoff, and based on that you can define the format option. Right now you see light red fill with the dark red text, or you can go with yellow fill with yellow dark text, and green fill with dark green text, or just the fill, just the border, or just the text. Or you can also go with your custom format where you can define your own standard of color or something like, defining the style like italic or something. So let's see how these things work. So right now I'm just picking up greater than 60 and light red fill with dark red text. Okay. And now when I come back, I see only those text being highlighted, what I was interested in. Now, you can always apply the different conditions on the same range. Say, for example, I select the same range once again, go for conditional formatting, highlight cell rules, and I'll pick up the next one this time that's called as less than. Now, less than, let me pick up something which is less than 40 or maybe less than 30 and switch to another formatting option. Say, for example, green fill with dark green text and say OK. Now you can see here that the highlighting option shows the dark green text with the lower than 30 and the red or the pink color is representing above 60. So you can highlight and you can put some legends next to it to specify what color code is representing all about. So you can do that. Say, for example, you can also do it something like this, where you can fill in the background color with, say, pink. No, I don't usually find this precise pink color what we have used. Okay, let me put this, and this is how you can represent saying greater than, or let me just put it as greater than 60. And for this, I can use a light green color and specify it as okay, that's the color, and say it as less than 30. So you can use these kind of formatting as well, like to represent what color is representing all about. Now this is how you use a conditional formatting and specify your condition and do that. Now there's another option which you can see is between. Like for example, if you're looking for a specific format between a range, can also be worked out. So all mathematical operators basically, like when you talk about greater than, less than, between, or something. So let's try with between this time. Select the same range, conditional formatting, and go for between. So usually you have to define two values here, which would be, say, for example, I'm looking at, now I've tried with 30 and 60. So let's try with between 30 and 60. So whatever lies between this will be highlighted. And let's use custom format this time, where I'll be defining what will be my format system. So say italic, and that is font style, and the font color. Maybe I would like to retain the font color as black. That's automatic, or you can pick the black color. And go for fill. And fill, you can pick the color of your choice. That is background fill, like blue. And maybe the border, if you're interested to have a border for that, you can pick a dotted border or something and say okay. Now you can see that the text is being italic and the background is added and the color remains the black. So now you can see that all my cells are highlighted because I've applied three different conditions to it. The red one representing greater than, and the green color is representing the less than 30, and the blue color is representing between 30 and 60. So that's how this conditional formatting works. Now on the other side, we do have something called as equal to, like if you're looking at something specific in the sense like a particular value which might be repeated in your data, and you're looking for how many of them has got this value specifically. So you can go with equal to as well. So say for example, I may have information mentioned here, like say, let me just mention 56, 34 again, 23, 87, 45, 67, 87, and 34. So say this example, I'm using some random numbers where I'm going for conditional formatting to show you how this works for equal to. And equal to will basically go with a specific value, and it will look for that value and put it across. So say 34, and you can see the preview already. Let's try with some other thing now and say okay. Now you can see all the 34s are being highlighted here. So that's how equal to works. The other one here is also you can deal with not only limited to numbers, but you can also go with text. So if you want to highlight a particular text in the range, then you can go with the text that contains, or even you can look for duplicate values. But let's try with the text that contains first. So all you have to do is select the range. Now in this case, you can go with the entire thing also, where the whole array can be selected, and then you can say conditional formatting, text that contains, and mention the text here, what you are targeting on. Say for example, female, and I'm having just the red text. Now you can see that, or maybe let me try with a custom format here, and using our pink color as font. So let's use this color and say it should be bold and italic, and say OK. Now press OK, and you can see only the female out of the complete table is being highlighted. So this is how the text that contains can help you to highlight a particular text in the particular table or an array. Now the other way of also working on it is called as the duplicate values. Duplicate values will help you to highlight. Remember, I have another tutorial which talks about remove duplicates, which is in data. So let me show you here. So in data tab, you have an option called as remove duplicates. Now this option will basically remove the duplicates from the table. But this option is going to highlight the duplicates rather than removing it. So it's always a precautionary step that you try to highlight it first and decide whether to remove them or not. So to do that, again, let me select the names, or basically names are existing, and let me try with the gender because I have a duplicate present here. So go for conditional formatting, highlight cell rules, and pick up duplicate values. Now you can see that what are you looking at? So there are two options, unique or duplicate. So if it is unique, you want to highlight that there are no copies of it, or the duplicate values. So you can decide on that, and then you can go ahead and define something for it. So say the duplicate values, because I have already a lot of colors here. So let me try with something different. Maybe I'm using the text color as white, and the background fill I'll be going with black, and say OK. So now you can see as let me just say OK. Yep. So now you can see that the male and the female word has duplicacies around. So if in case you remove this value, then automatically it will remove the formatting, plus it will remove the obviously the duplicate formatting as well. So say for example this turns to be male. Can you see that here the male has turned into the ordinary one, but it still has the black background. The reason is male is a duplicate value in that particular range, but it has lost the female text formatting. That means there is no longer female value. The format has been removed and came back to the format of gender. So team, at any point of time, if you update the values, for example here, if I turn this 45 into 34, it will automatically pick the formatting. The reason is I have applied the conditional formatting to the entire range, not to specific cell. So in that case, the moment your number changes, it just picks it up. And applies that formatting depending on what you have already applied. The one last thing, what you're left out in conditional formatting, highlight cell rules, is date occurring. Now that means as simple as that it can also work for a particular date. Now let's try that here. So say for example I put a date 1/1/2018 and just drag and drop it where I can look for the date changing. So maybe it's like basically representing MMDDYY. So that's like the different dates, like first 9 dates of January month. So now let me try with what date occurring helps you with. Conditional formatting, highlight cell rules, a date occurring. So here is the yesterday, today, tomorrow, last week, next week. So these are the probabilities. But I think I have used not a particular range for this. So let me quickly change it. Maybe I can try with the 1st of August. So let me just put it as 8 and then try doing it. Yes. So now you can see the dates are here. So let's go for conditional formatting. So today being 2nd of August, I'm trying to pick up yesterday and say OK. Now you can see that it has only highlighted the yesterday's date, that was 1st of August. Now let me try with something else here where I can go ahead with this. Equal to duplicate values. Okay, date occurring, and let's say tomorrow, and the font change, format change, and say OK. So it is green is representing tomorrow, and today is 2nd of August. So team, this is what basically the conditional formatting highlight cell rules can help you with. There's another option which is also called as more rules, where you go with your own formula, which we'll be talking at the end of this tutorials, where we'll be having series of tutorials to understand everything one after the other. So here is what you call it as new rule, where you can define your own formula to customize and define the conditional other than what is mentioned here. So if you think the options mentioned here is not going to help you with what you are looking at to format, you can always go to new rule and define your own rule. So there will be a following tutorial coming up to help you with what is new rule and how to implement it. So team, today we understood about conditional formatting, highlight cell rules, that how to highlight the greater than, less than text that contains, and some of the basic understanding of conditional formatting. The next tutorial will be talking about the top bottom rules, so stay tuned and follow the tutorials to understand everything about each topic here, and hope you have definitely understood something new today here to conditional formatting and how to highlight the cell rules here. Hope you enjoyed the video and definitely learned something new today. Do comment your queries, doubts, clarifications below so that I can get back to you with more details on the same and get it clarified. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel to get latest updates on the new videos about basic Excels and advanced. To get notified, do not forget to click on the bell icon. Thank you team for watching the video. Happy learning.